Hey guys, how's it going? It's Chris here, and welcome to a very quick Ghibli review for Whisper of the Heart. This is a movie that Sam and I just watched last night, and honestly, unlike the other Ghibli movies, I really don't have too much of a strong opinion one way or the other about this movie. It was kind of in the middle for me. It was good, obviously. It's Ghibli. I couldn't even think of a bad Ghibli movie that I've seen, or anyone that I've looked at. I couldn't think that looks terrible, you know. But I don't know. This movie just kind of, it didn't do it for me like other movies did. And I looked at the IMDb ratings, and it was like an 8 out of 10. People love this movie, and I can see why. I definitely can. For me, it didn't have that spark. That it didn't have that one scene that really just kind of swelled in my passion and my emotion, my artistic sense. It just didn't inspire me as much as most of the other Ghibli films. Whenever I get done watching a Ghibli movie, I'm super inspired to go write, to go draw, to create something, to leave my mark, to do whatever. I become very passionate after watching a Ghibli movie, and this one I was just kind of like, that was good. I liked it, you know? It was kind of like that. So, you may think differently. I'm by no means saying it was a bad movie at all. I still think you should go see it, but I just have a little bit of stuff to go over here real quick, but there's no real glaring issues. Now, first off, the animation for Ghibli, obviously it was good, but for Ghibli, I thought it was a little bit lacking. Maybe the colors were just a little too desaturated. I don't know. It came out in 1995, which I found bizarre because other movies like Laputa Castle in the Sky was like, 86 or something like that? And that was gorgeous. That was way better looking than this movie. And again, this movie didn't look bad. It didn't stand out as much. I do have to note, though, that the character models look good, and the way that the characters move. There was a lot of small details in the animation, a lot of natural, real details of just how a person would move and react to the situation, like just tiny things. Like there was a scene where they were talking on a roof, and it was like the roof entrance stairs had a little bit of like the light behind them along the wall was just kind of like slowly pulsing and flickering behind them, like very tiny detail. And I saw them like, holy crap, Sam, look at that. That's awesome attention to detail that the light's just kind of wavering behind them. You can barely see it. It's awesome. Stuff like that is what makes me love Ghibli films, just how compassionate they are when it comes to their projects. But even still, the animation didn't really blow me away. The art style was good, but it was still pretty run-of-the-mill. It was average for a Ghibli film, I thought, despite a couple scenes and character mannerisms, I suppose. There were some things that definitely stood out to me, which were the main character, Shizuku. Her parents, their voice acting was very lackluster. The dad sounded crap, the mom sounded crap, but everyone else was good. It was just the parents. I don't know. Every time they were on screen, I was just kind of disinterested. It didn't seem like the English dub voice actors just didn't care, but everyone else was fine. That's just like a little nitpick. Another thing was the movie was about 2 hours long, and the pacing kind of felt all over the place. You know, it was like it had moments where it was like a lot of stuff was happening, a lot of character interaction, and then it would slow down a whole lot, and then have like 30 minutes of just monotonous daily activity, and then it would pick back up and have some cool stuff going on, have some really good moments, and then it would slow down again, and it just, the pacing just felt kind of all over the place, and then the movie just kind of like, it like wrapped it up really quick at the end, but it's like they had 2 hours to get to this ending, and it seemed like they wrapped it up really quick. It just kind of seemed like everything developed in the last 30 minutes of the movie very quickly and a little bit unnaturally, but that might have just been me. I don't know. But the one thing that definitely stood out to me was this wasn't an action, super crazy adventure movie like a lot of Ghibli movies, how, you know, it's about people with powers or how they get caught up in some crazy adventure with some mystical elements and stuff. This was extremely down-to-earth. This was completely human and natural. It's about a girl, Shizuku. She herself feels very uninspired in life. She used to do really good in school and, you know, get like all of her good grades and focus on schoolwork, but then she just keeps feeling kind of inadequate and just kind of lost in what she's doing. Her grades start slipping, and she's just very distracted. And then she is dealing with like one of her friends' relationship issues where it's like, you know, her friend likes this guy, then this guy tells her friend that his friend likes her, even though she likes him, and then it finds out that he likes Shizuku, the main character, and it's like this weird little triangle of miscommunicated relationships. But the thing is, like, that's like a subplot, and there's like 10 different subplots that it keeps going back to, and that's realistic, you know, because in life, we're not following just one path the whole time, you know. Every single day brings new elements, and the movie kind of clarifies that every single day that's going on, there's a new challenge, a new plot, and a new thing for the characters to focus on that all sort of build up to the end story, but it just sometimes felt kind of scattered. There were some plot elements I feel were definitely a little bit unneeded, in context necessary, in the style that they were going for necessary, so I'm not complaining, it just added to the odd feeling of pacing in the movie. But I really, really did enjoy the main character for some reason. I don't know, Shizuku she was fun to watch. She was active, and she's a very, very relatable as a character. I know she's like a 14-year-old girl, so me being a guy, a little bit harder to relate, but her struggle was what I could relate to, and how she was responding to a lot of stuff was definitely relatable for me personally, because there's a certain scene that really earned really, really big personal points for me, and that was when she brought she had this interaction with this old guy, this old man character at an antique shop, which kind of leads her to the cat statue that is a big centerpiece of the movie. And she has this interaction with him, and she starts writing. She writes lyrics and little stories and stuff. And she actually starts to write a small book for herself. She brings it to this old guy, and he's reading through it and everything. She's like super nervous. She's terrified that it's going to be terrible. It's her first book ever, first draft, first book, and she's so horrified that it's going to be awful. She feels like she's not good enough. She's not as good. She sees everyone else excel. She sees that her semi-pseudo love interest throughout the movie, her love struggle throughout the movie, she sees him excel at what he does, even though he doesn't see it. He sees himself needing much improvement, as all artists do, and then she gets inspired by him, but then she gets crushed because she feels she's nowhere near good enough to match that, and she has the old man read her first draft of her book, which is based on the cat statue in his antique shop. And after he reads it, he tells her, he's like, it's good. It just needs some polishing, you know. It's like you're like this geode, you know. The geode's very rough on the outside, but on the inside has the diamonds. And once you get the diamonds, you need to then polish the diamonds to get the final product, have it be worth something. And so, but she's like listening to him, and she just starts crying, and she starts bawling because she's like, she just feels so inadequate. She feels like it can never be good enough. But then that emotion and that scene gives her the strength to try even harder, and she really gets her goals straight. And I can definitely relate to that, because with me, with everything I make, I always feel like my stuff's not good enough, and I don't know how to improve, but I'm so passionate that I constantly try, and I do my best, which all relates to, I mean, my own book. It's been going for years, and I'm still working on it, and it's utterly crushing to still be working on it, but I know when it gets to its absolute final stage, where I'm not going to touch it again, it's going to be perfect, and I'm going to love it, and that's what she was going through. She was going through the first internal denial of her own critique, and that I could definitely relate to, and that was one scene in the movie that almost got me to tears, because I'm just like, the struggle is real, I get it. The movie, though, itself didn't have a whole lot of magical Ghibli moments. Like I said this earlier, but almost every movie I watch has a couple of moments that really just get you going, this is Ghibli, you know? And this movie really didn't have too many for me. It tried, and it showed some scenes, but I wasn't really captured by it. There was one scene, though, where her love struggle interest was playing the violin that he made, and she was singing along with him, and that was just a very powerful moment. I love that moment. That was near the end of the movie and stuff, but it was a very good moment, I thought. Yeah, like I said, there was a lot of unfocused subplots that all sort of relate to how the story is supposed to flow in a very real way, and none of them really overarched any of the other plots. They all felt kind of moved. They all felt at like the same level of urgency and importance, except for a couple others that just slightly got above it, that just slightly drew in your interest more. Overall, it was just very steady, and just a relaxing little movie to watch, you know. It was good. A little bit long for the kind of story it was telling, though, I thought. In the end, the soundtrack and the art were still good, I thought, you know. I would definitely recommend it. And the relatable factor is definitely its strongest feature of the whole movie, just how down-to-earth and how much you can align yourselves with the ambitions of the characters and everything, and the defeat that they face. I definitely don't think this movie will reach my top 10 list. However, I've seen far better Ghibli movies, and I still have many more to go through, but this will be like just after the top 10 list. It'll be like maybe the top 15 so far. But even still, I'm going to give it between a 6.5 and a 7 out of 10, which is still definitely above average. So I'd say go watch it, Whisper of the Heart. It's a good movie. Yeah, thanks guys for watching. If you want to see other Ghibli reviews or reviews for anything else I do, check the link at the end, coming up right here probably soon, and in the description below. I'll see you guys later, okay? Love you. Bye-bye.